It's Tuesday at Full Spectrum Laser. Time for Laser Talk. What do we got going on this week? Well,
We're talking acrylic.
it's Acrylic Week.
Hey everyone, it's Nick and Walker at Full Spectrum Laser, and like we said, we're talking acrylic.
That's right, guys. This week, it's Acrylic Week here at Full Spectrum Laser for Laser Talk. So we got tons of stuff to consider with cutting and working with acrylic. What's your favorite thing to make with acrylic, Walker?
Everything. I love making everything. It's so pliable in every which way.
Walker does love acrylic. What's your favorite thing to do with acrylic?
I love bending acrylic.
Bending acrylic. So acrylic's great because you can do all these different things with it as far as bending, shaping, manipulating. You can cut acrylic, you can engrave acrylic. You can use acrylic to make other tools that you need to make other projects. Like really acrylic's where it's at. I like using acrylic mostly for jigs. Because I think it's a great,
very solid,
very consistent. It's great for use for jigs, but I mean, edgelit signs are kind of like the thing to do with
acrylic.
Yeah, that's kind of the way to go.
So they got popular a couple years ago, and then they just continue to be cool.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like acrylic edgelit signs are going anywhere anytime soon. That's one of the, probably easiest applications for the laser as well, because it's just a single engraving, and then LED strips. Those cost nothing.
Yeah. And then you can make those all day for nothing and sell them for a significant amount. Jeanette says hello from
Jeanette once again.
Facebook.
Waterford, Michigan, go blue. A little rough weekend with the Irish. Sorry about that. Michigan man myself, Jeanette, but we'll get him next time.
So we're gonna wait. What? Huh?
Well, no, go ahead.
No. We're gonna talk about different applications with the acrylic and show you guys some examples that we have here in house and some that we found online, and then we're going to go through some tips, right?
Some tips, right? Absolutely. So we're going to talk about some acrylic tips, and then really just a few things to consider when using working with acrylic with your machine, whether it's your Pro Series machine or your Hobby Series. So why don't we run through some of those examples that we got, Charles, and take a look at.
We got more hellos. Lane Yost.
Lane Yost, hello, Yane. Hello, Lane. Sorry about that, sir. It's about time for you to have a laser, I think, Lane, right?
So
we have a big announcement, right? We can tell them about this Friday. I think Lane, you'll be really interested to be cruising on our website this Friday, considering some Pro Series news that we'll be releasing. So
definitely,
Lane, make sure you check that out. Now, this first thing we have here is a video, isn't it?
No, this isn't a video. We'll have a video at the end for you. But this one's just a little xylophone player. You crank it, and then as it goes, those holes catch the fingers that hit the xylophone.
Oh, very cool. That would be cool to do a Westworld version of that.
Oh,
That'd
yes,
really
it would.
This one's really cool. This, I think, is right up your alley because you love to bend the acrylic.
Yes.
What a cool little desktop thing you got here.
I love that. It's so clean. That's what's so great about acrylic is because no matter what, it looks so clean.
Absolutely. Then this next one here, this is impressive.
Awesome.
Yeah, and we almost won up it on the next one, but this one here, 1-inch acrylic is incredible with the cushions. That looks like it belongs in the lobby of like a really nice office.
Yeah, really, really fancy. And what's cool about that is that's all essentially rectangles that they cut.
Absolutely.
So it's probably a long rectangle and then a back piece rectangle, and then they just bent them to meet in certain areas.
This would definitely be a Pro Series application here.
Yeah, I would get a flatbed for that one.
Yeah, definitely. And then this next one here is actually an edgelit sign like but a clock.
Yeah, clock. So edgelit's really cool. That's what's so great about acrylic is that once you etch it and engrave it with your laser, it just glows. It just pops.
Absolutely. Then we have one more piece of furniture here, right? This one's super modern, super impressive. Looks like there's just a couple of lines cut on each side for the armrest, and then the rest of that's bent.
Yeah, that's just a rectangle with lines in it, and then they bend it to that amazing shape. Now, I wouldn't trust me sitting on there. Maybe some children, because that's significant.
Looks like Lane picked up the Muse package that we had on sale.
Nice. Congratulations.
Britain, congratulations, Lane. Looking forward to see what you got making with that Muse when you get it home. John, appreciate you checking in from Newark, Delaware. Good seeing you on as well. So those are some of we have some examples here too in front of us, right?
Yeah,
some really great examples. This little bowl here is great, right?
So this is one that I think is really cool because we simply just bent it around the bowl.
Right, that was a flat piece, right? And then it was bent out around another bowl. Correct?
Exactly. It was flat, and then we heated it up and put it on a bowl, and then just put another bowl on top of that.
And then this one here is an example of an edgelit sign, right?
Yeah, so we have a simple edgelit sign. It's kind of hard to see. Maybe if we back
Actually,
it.
I'll probably backlight a little bit here.
Yeah.
Maybe at the edge. Our studio lights are getting a little. Let me do.
Well,
there we go.
There.
We'll
So, just Megan in the background.
Make it work. Megan will just be in a little prison of acrylic thing. But what's cool, I think, we turn it upside down and kind of show how this works, right?
Yeah. So I actually robbed it of the LEDs, but it's just a simple base, and that's
Well,
typically.
I mean, this is a good showing of
Yeah,
where
yeah.
the LEDs would go if you want to turn it around. Like,
Yeah,
you
just
put the
place
edge,
it on that edge, and that's what's going to make it.
and then
edgelit.
that light comes out of the crease where it was coming up, and then these little things that were engraved on are what pops, right?
Yeah, they just catch, and then a lot of people do the 3D design, so this two-dimensional cut looks actually three-dimensional when it's lit.
Yeah, this looks very 3D even lit up here in the studio, and then when you turn it flat, it's obviously almost looks like a little reptilian person or something. Like
Yeah.
some kind of weird hybrid. Yeah. Then we have let's look at the octopus. This is a great keychain hole. This is actually one of our free projects, right? This is some color hues acrylic from Romark, right?
Yeah, this is the flamingo that comes with your maker kit when you purchase Amuse. And this will hold your keys, and it's just a nice, simple project to get started with your laser.
Yeah, real simple project. No glue needed for this one, right?
No.
Just edged in together. Real great. And then you have this other one that's kind of a mixed medium, right? With the tree. And you can actually make this entire project with all the stuff that Romark gives you. So this is like a neat thing that you did where you used, basically everything comes in that sample pack and put it together in this really cool project here.
Yeah, what I love about this is actually another edgelit. Let me light this one up.
As you can see, can you turn that light down a little bit, Walker?
Yeah.
Like turn it actually all the way down. That'll probably help out. As you can see, this one, there's a light underneath that you can see the source of right there, which throws up. Yeah, go ahead and Scott, turn that one way down too. As you can see, the bottom lights up really cool, and then the tree actually lights up with the source there too. That's a really cool application. And then, yeah, if you want to go ahead and turn that light back on, there's actually, this is a really cool application too. This is a bunch of different colors of acrylic put together to make stained glass. So if you can kind of see what we have going on there, that reminds you of like a church window, but this is really just a bunch of different colors of stained glass, and then it's layered so that the black acrylic on top can be used as the separators.
Yeah, that's what I love about acrylic is you can replace glass, and these some of these pieces of glass that are broken that you want to fix are so expensive. So if you just fixed it with a simple piece of acrylic, I think it's a cheap, awesome option.
Absolutely. And then here's just a few. If you're looking for a special color, Romark has from their color hues all these different colors. So like almost every shape of the rainbow, but different colors and textures, whole bunch on this ring. And then you actually, here's another good example of a backlit acrylic, since it's right there in frame. But you have a couple of their big sheets of material here from Romark. So you can get like, this is acrylic wood actually. So if you look on the back, that is a glossy black back with a wood panel on the front, and then this one here is actually like a granite countertop, which comes on big 2 by 4 foot sheets as well from Romark.
And these are all just acrylic.
Just acrylic 3mm sheets. Great. And then you actually have a really cool project this week, right? For 1 hour build, right? You want to turn that around?
This week's project is.
Oh, I think it's backwards.
Oh,
it's okay. Yeah, just turn it around real quick. Look how cool this is, guys. Meet the Zoltar.
So we've
Hi,
got.
I am Zoltar. I am here for your, what is it?
Fortune.
That's what the word I was looking for.
So he's a fortune teller, of course, and he's sitting on his little fortune teller table.
How cool is that? Look at the detail on this table, the little fringy things, the little detail underneath. Now the project file for all this you're giving away on Friday as well, right?
Yeah. They'll have this, and then they also we have this guy as well on our Instructables page. And I mean, we made this project somewhere.
Yeah.
It exists somewhere.
It does, and then I think you actually have this as a project as well up on the website, which are door hangers, which is another great, easy acrylic sign. This is another engraved example of the acrylic. And then I think my favorite edgelit project we have is the pen holder. Everyone's favorite pen holder.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Pen holder.
So what's cool about why does this look like it's glowing? Like what's up with this?
It's because it's fluorescent.
So the color, like the light, just picks up the
light just penetrates it and then exits the edge of that light.
very cool.
I think it's really cool.
Very cool. So we'll set that back
Hello.
there. Looks like
Hello,
we got
Jim.
Jim, you looks like you're watching
from
from Dallas in your motorhome. Very nice to have you tune in from Dallas. Hopefully it's staying cooler in Dallas. Looks like you guys had a little bit of heat over the weekend. Who else we have watching in? We got John and Lane and Jim all tuning in. Jeanette. Looks like
so I think we skipped over the vacuum form.
Oh yeah,
photo.
I think we did.
Do we still have that?
Sorry about that, Charles. And I think we missed the video as well. Sorry about that, sir. We'll jump back there real quick. You have the vacuum form example right here. So this is what you'd make from it. But essentially, you can take acrylic and you can form it to shapes like this as well, right?
Yeah. So what's really cool about acrylic is you can heat it up and actually melt it around things, and what you would do is actually vacuum form. You could get a vacuum form, but you could just cut yourself a vacuum form table and do this type of thing where you just simply heat up the acrylic and then you hook up a shop vac in this hole, and then all the air will suck out of it and then bring it down onto the object that you have, creating that shape in acrylic.
That's really cool. And you just you made this out of MDF board, it looks like, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to go big shot on this one real quick, Charles, so they can see? So this is basically just a notch box, right?
Yeah, that's just a notch box with a hole for the size of shop vac, and then you have little holes on top, and that's where it's going to draw the air, suck the acrylic down onto what you would call a buck, which is the shape that you have, and you could laser cut that shape, or it could be a pre-existing object.
Oops. That's really cool. I think the vacuum seal or vacuum form is something that a lot of people forget about, and it's something that really costs a lot of money when you do and send it out to a shop. But if you can get it at home with just a few laser cut things, what a good deal that is.
I mean, people can buy vacuum forms for like $1,200 when you could just cut this with your laser and then just heat it up in your oven and do the same thing.
So when we talk about acrylic, what is acrylic? Like, what is actually, like, what defines an acrylic? Is it just any plastic?
It's not any plastic. It's a specific plastic derived from acrylic acid.
Right, so if it's the acrylic or acrylic acid or any related compound, that's what makes it acrylic, and that's why acrylic's safe to cut, right? So like PVC and vinyl, we couldn't cut even though it's plastic.
You don't want to cut that. That's going to be harmful for you, and we actually have an ebook on that, all the stuff that's unsafe to cut within plastics.
Absolutely. So check out the ebook for materials and materials safe to use with your laser. Biggest thing you want to be concerned with is the fumes and the different gases that can form when you're you're evaporating, or sorry, you're vaporizing.
Vaporizing is the word. There you go.
Yeah. So you're literally taking that solid material and turning it into a gas.
Yeah, and I mean,
sometimes even change the state.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times, there are some very unsafe things that you can cut, and you want to know what those things are. But just in general, you want to exhaust your fumes just always.
Absolutely.
You don't want to be breathing in any fumes. Even if it's wood, that's still not good for you. So if you're in a situation where you can't vent it out a window, you would need your exhaust, our filter, our fume extractors, and those will eliminate most of those smells, especially in acrylics, and get rid of most of those fumes out.
Yeah, I think you bring up a good point. A lot of people, I think, when they're cutting wood, they just kind of think, oh, it's just smoke.
Yeah.
No big deal. But you probably wouldn't start a fire in your house and not open the vent for your chimney.
No, I mean, even sitting next to a campfire too long is just not good for you.
No, not healthy at all. I mean, no one should be breathing smoke all the time.
No.
Unless maybe you're a dragon. That's probably okay.
Then you're cool.
Then you're really cool. What else? It looks like we're still caught up there. What's that?
Video.
Oh, yeah, we got that great video, Charles, right?
Yeah. There's an acrylic video.
Now, this is for the aspiring young criminal mind here. This is this is an acrylic safe. What do you call it?
Like a padlock, right?
Yeah, like the. But what's the safe mechanism called when you're actually spinning that around? The combination.
The combination lock, yeah.
The
Dial.
dial. Thank you.
Dial.
Appreciate
It's
it.
a hard word.
So that is a dial. that you're spitting.
Yeah.
I wish I knew more about locks.
No. What's great about that is mechanically you can actually see what's going on inside.
Right. So it doesn't matter if it's a lock. It could be a caboose. It could be an engine. It could be anything.
Any sort of mechanical mechanism that you're trying to teach somebody and visually show them. I could see something like that being in an interactive space for like kids in museums and stuff.
Absolutely.
See how that stuff works.
So as far as when you're using the acrylics, anything you want to keep in mind, anything you want to consider when using the acrylic? So like this piece in particular, like what considerations do you make before you do something like that?
So I always consider when cutting acrylic the actual kerf and how small you can get the actual pieces.
Now when you say kerf, why don't you explain to people what kerf is real quick?
So kerf is the removed material from the actual laser. So
if we had like a blade, if we had like a saw, it would be the
saw
area where
is
this...
significant, where the saw is actually going through the material. Right. In this case, it's a laser, which is extremely smaller than a saw blade. But
just a bit.
Yeah. But you still have to consider it when designing and how small you can get the acrylic. Now, I've got away with about 0.5 millimeters, that small with the design. But if you're going to be bending it like that, I would probably bump it up twice as much.
Absolutely. A good rule of thumb with acrylic is not have a cross section that's wider than the thickness of your material. That's just a good safe. You can
That's a good safe one.
You can go well beyond that most of the time. But if you want a good safe for like how thin you can make your acrylic, usually if you go the same thickness as or same width as your thickness of the material, you're usually pretty good. Now
that is a nice safe one.
When you're cutting though with current with your current and power, like does that affect the kerf at all? Like what do you have to consider with your settings when dealing with that?
So unlike wood, acrylic's going to melt.
Ooh, that's a good consideration. Now, when you say melt, you mean literally melt? Or you mean when you cut through it, like you're melting it as you cut?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're melting it through it, and that's why with lasers it's really good to cut acrylic because you're going to have that nice flame edge. Like a lot of the CNC guys, you'll see they actually CNC it, and then they hit it with a blowtorch so they get that clear edge.
Yep.
And that's how a lot of actual fish tanks are made.
Oh, right, the acrylic fish tanks.
Yeah, those clear edges, you can still see where they came together, but it's nice and clear.
Nice and clear.
And you don't have to worry about doing that with a laser because it just does that automatically.
Perfect. Now, when you're doing when you're aligning your laser, like I noticed that I cut acrylic once and the kerf wasn't straight up and down. It was at a little bit of an angle. Now, is that because my laser was out of alignment, or because
I think so. Your
should have aligned that laser better. Sorry.
So it's a lot easier to see because that edge isn't being charred. It's a lot more precise with acrylic, I think, when it comes out, so that you can see that angle cut, that bevel, and that's when you can notice that your machine's out of alignment.
Yeah, it seems like almost more consistent to do acrylic. With wood, there's a lot of variables with the type of material, especially if you're using any type of layered material. With acrylic, though, it seems like you get a really consistent output, or like outcome at least. Nice,
clean, and straight up, and that's why you can see that edge so great.
Absolutely. Now, with fumes with the acrylic, obviously with acrylic it's okay, but it's a little stinky. Is there anything to worry about with acrylic, even though it stinks a little bad?
It's safe for you. But like I said earlier, you still want to draw those out of your house, out of anywhere that you're working your laser.
Absolutely. I think the other thing too to consideration is maybe just politeness for the people around you when you're cutting acrylic.
Yeah.
If you plan on cutting acrylic and there's a lot of people eating, maybe wait till they're done.
Yeah, it's not a pleasant smell.
No, it's not the most pleasant smell, but you're also vaporizing a plastic, so
yeah,
kind of
no
understandable.
Matter what.
Yeah.
It smells like burnt trash bags.
A little bit, yeah. You burn a lot of trash bags?
All the time.
That's how you keep the house warm in the winter? Yeah, that makes sense.
Of course. Can't pay those bills.
Now again, Romark makes not only the flamingo, which is convenient that we've cut a flamingo out of it, that you get in your sample pack, but Romark also makes every one of these colors of the rainbow. So like the yellow that you see from the Zoltar sign to this edgelit yellow that you have here, all Romark material. Even this material we use for our patents is a 2-layer Romark white and blue acrylic, which is some of my favorite stuff here.
So when you say 2-layer?
Right, so there's a thin layer of blue acrylic on top and then a base layer of white below. So you can engrave away the blue to reveal the white below in this case.
Which is a great contrast.
Great contrast in here. We actually have, they actually make little tags as well. The same thing. Looks like we have a question coming in from Walker from Facebook. Renee Skoog asks, any difference between cast acrylic versus extruded acrylic?
That's a great question.
Great question.
So there is a huge thing on the internet where they're going to say cast is a lot better for cutting and engraving, and that is true to a certain extent. Both do all right, but the thing to go for is cast. Now, cast means that it's plied out and then set in a mold.
Right.
That's casted. And the extruded is kind of the same way, but it's just a little different. But it doesn't.
It's not a process, right? It rolls.
Yeah, it rolls and presses out and just kind of lays out. So I would always go with cast because it does do the nice white etch on the acrylic.
There's a bit of a cost difference between cast and extruded, though, isn't there?
There is a cost difference, and you'll notice that even like plexiglass, I don't even know where it fits in between the two, but it has its downfalls because it is very brittle. It's very
brittle. Yeah.
Very brittle, and you'll notice it doesn't etch as well. And that's the kind of stuff that you find at like Lowe's and Home Depot.
But most of that stuff isn't safe for the laser anyways, right? Because it contains...
The plexiglass is fine. Plexiglass is actually a brand of acrylic.
Okay.
But you can tell how cheap it is. Like there's got to be something in it. I don't know personally, but there's something you can tell. Like it's very brittle.
It could just be that the moisture content in the extruded. Those words, I can't talk. Those words are tough. But the extruded, that would have to be done in a way that would make it a little more brittle, right? Because the heat process that's done when it's set with cast, they're basically pouring molten.
Yeah, pouring and letting it set rather than the extrusion lays down. That's going to be a lot.
It's like instant heat, instant cool, right?
Yeah, that you're right. Yeah. It's going to be a different process that sets it to the final density.
Right, so that's probably the biggest difference between those two types of acrylic, and the reason why one just performs better than the other, I'd say.
Yeah, I would go cast. Sorry, we rambled, but cast.
I think that was all good information, though, for sure.
Yeah.
Looks like we have one more question coming in from Salt Lake City. George is asking, Walker, how do I control the depth when engraving? That's a pretty good question.
Power and speed. There's no magic, right?
Right, there's no depth setting where you can say, I'd like this to be 1/4 of an inch deep. But at the same time, like with the Muse even, this weekend I had 100 power, 1000 DPI, and slowed it down to 3 speed. And I was well over 1/4 inch deep on the engraving. Now,
and that's what you wanted.
That's exactly what I was going for. Now with a Pro Machine, you can actually go a little bit deeper, but the best thing to do, since it's so material-based, is to do a test, right?
Yes. So you can always do a test, run our material tests, and then find out your depth from there, because that's going to change from application to application, right?
Application to application as well as material to material,
yeah. And if your machine's lined.
If your machine's what?
Aligned.
Aligned, absolutely. Alignment is probably one of the most telling things about the machine.
Oh, and focused. Sure. There's a lot of things to consider.
Absolutely. One more. Beth in Irvine's asking, this is actually a great question, Walker. What careers can one pursue in the laser industry besides a career like yours?
Yeah.
You can always work for a laser company.
That's always great.
That's always good start. So if you're really good at lasers,
mechanical engineer?
Yeah, absolutely. There's mechanical engineering you can do with that. Actually, really all engineering. If
you're
doing anything where you're prototyping a product or anything, use of the laser is paramount.
Yes. And I think the software engineers and the mechanical engineers are one of the most important when it comes to creating.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Understanding your capabilities and what you're able to do with your materials is huge. Another job, probably sign shops. Any kind of sign or signage shop. Yeah. Also, I could probably a lot of our customers have these in their wood shop, so I'm assuming that like any type of woodworking, that would be
a huge thing. It's even if you're not going for that degree, but you could still be an operator.
Oh, absolutely, and I think that's probably more so the case. Like, you can imagine if you leave high school and you know how to use a laser system really well, you're very hireable right out of the workforce.
And believe it or not, like some people just get it real easy. And those operators, like, it's not a bad job at all.
No, not at all. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of people who own businesses that are a bit older than us who are a little intimidated by using lasers, let alone learning new softwares and things. So young people who are willing to go out and learn new software and understand like what it's going to take to get from A to B, a lot of opportunity out there for you.
Yeah, that's very true. One of our older friends, right? He's maker, and it was a bit intimidating because he used planes and all the woodworking tools.
Absolutely.
And then getting the computer stuff, it was a bit intimidating, but he got past that.
Absolutely, but I mean, really, Jimmy DiResta is that kind of guy. He's old school, uses every kind of real tool in the market, but he's got a Muse hobby laser, and he's about to get a Pro Series, big 48-inch
I'm
laser.
excited to see what he
I
makes.
cannot wait till he gets one of our big industrial machines in his shop, and he starts making those big projects. It's going to be great.
Yes, I want to see lots of furniture.
Looks like we got another watch. Brian is watching from Parksburg, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
That's not too far from Scranton.
Really?
Correct me if I'm wrong, Brian, but I believe Scranton is not too far from there.
Say hello to Jim for me.
Jim's up. Oh yeah, Jim's up in the town. Yeah. Looks like we got Jeanette asking, what do you recommend to do when you're cutting very small items that could fall through the grate? I'm using plain glass currently.
Small, like through the grate. I'm guessing her honeycomb tray.
I'm guessing that's a question. So Jeanette, do you mean small objects falling through the honeycomb?
Yeah, because usually...
Are you using a Pro or Hobby Series is a good question to ask first.
That is a good question, because with the Pro, you have that catch on the bottom. And if it is really small and it's going through even your knife blade or honeycomb, you have that tray to pull them all out.
Yeah, that's one of the,
that is awesome.
Best things about the Pro Series machines is, if you don't know about this hobbyist, underneath the Pro Series machine, there's a drawer.
Yes.
That all of your stuff, when it cuts, it falls into this drawer, and you just pull the drawer out, and all your parts are right there in the drawer.
Yeah, I love that.
I love it. It's the best part about the
Pro
Pro
Series. It's
Series
better than getting the shop vac out and cleaning the hobby.
That's just for like the negatives. We're talking about the actual parts. If the parts are falling through, you're cutting great little things.
Very.
I cut those little numbers for Mom, and I'll tell you, I lose a bunch of ones.
Really?
Yeah, because the ones are, the sevens. Yeah, the sevens, they want to fall down there too all the time.
Yeah,
I find sevens.
What do you do, duct tape and pull them out?
I just cut 10 extra sevens.
Oh.
And so if I lose 3 sevens, there's
That's smart.
7 extra sevens. It's just a 7.
Such a smart boy.
And that's on Muse. Jeanette, you're Muse user. So Muse, glass is a good use. But honestly, what we'll do is, if you're setting up on the honeycomb and you pull the honeycomb out, you can take a small piece of like acrylic like this and use it like a little scoop and get your things out. That's what I use. I use a piece of Romark Lucence acrylic, and I've made a little. Actually, this is bent acrylic. I have a little bent acrylic scoop.
How dare you?
I know. I almost felt bad doing it. It's like I couldn't realize I did it. Looks like we had, that's still Brian Treadway from PA. Looks like that's all our questions, but we do have a really cool contest winner this week, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's announce our weekly contest winner. We got Vintage Cat. Oh, sorry, how do you say it? Vintage Cat Laser Company. That's a mouthful, but look at this amazing glass product. Good job, Vintage Cat Laser Company. Dennis, the maker there at Vintage Cat. Oh, yeah, we're looking up over the thing.
There you go. You're good at that.
That's good. So Vintage Cat Laser Company, a real good job here. They made this really cool psychic sign. And
is that a coincidence?
It's a little coincidence. You have a Zoltar edgelit sign, and they have a psychic sign. I think it just lines up. But this is great. They went and found a old frame from Goodwill, stained it, painted it, sanded it, and then put a piece of glass engraved on the back of it. And now they're going to hang this in a window for a psychic shop. How cool is that? Very, very cool. That kind of stuff. So you imagine they probably really that frame probably came with that glass.
Yeah.
So they probably just took out everything from the frame, took the glass out, engraved it, put it back in, and boom, you got a cool little project.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Well, that's really cool. Again, congratulations, Dennis from Vintage Cat Laser Company.
So $250 off.
So Dennis just won $250 off his next purchase or a free lens kit. So if you're looking to do even more detailed engravings, you can get a 1.5-inch lens kit, and we'll have that sent off to you real quick. Megan will reach out to you here today and coordinate all of that, so look forward to a message from them, Dennis, and the other wonderful people at Vintage Laser Cat Company.
I love that name.
Great name. A little bit of a mouthful when you don't know what you're saying right away, but great.
Yeah.
You saw the logo. It's just a black and white cat with lasers coming out of its eyes.
That is cool.
Winner. Well done.
Winning so many levels.
So many levels of winning. Again, on social media, please head over to our Instagram. Give us a follow on there. If you subscribe to our YouTube, you're going to get a bunch of notifications. Well, not a bunch, but you'll get notifications when we do our live videos, and then when we upload tutorials and other such videos. So give our YouTubes, if you're our owner of Full Spectrum Laser and you aren't subscribed to our YouTube station, you're missing out on a lot. I mean, how dare you? But really, you're just missing out. Like every time we put up a helpful video, a tutorial, or anything else like that, you're just missing out on it. So you can get those videos to you if you just subscribe to
So
our
many tips.
YouTube. So many tips, so many techniques, so many different ways to use your laser better. Most of them are on YouTube. So make sure you give us a subscribe there. Also give us a follow on Twitter, Instagram, and the Book of Faces if you're not already doing so.
Please like me.
Please like me. We're popular, we promise. But I mean, as your best, I mean, really the best laser company in America.
Oh, I would say the
Give us a
world,
like.
man.
We'll take the world.
Oh.
We'll take the world.
We'll
Best in the
take
world.
it
Not bad. Anyway, that's all we have this week for our acrylic week. Again, on Friday, make sure you tune in with Scott and Walker. They'll be making this amazing sign. It's backwards once again, but look at how good it looks when it's facing the right way. And again, that's the color he used, acrylic from Romer.
Yeah,
Again,
yeah.
like you see how much that edge picks up the line, and really it's a pretty good looking engraving. Like, remember we talked about maybe putting some paint on it, but there's no need to put any
No,
paint on that. It
I
looks
like it.
amazing just like that. Yeah.
I like it a lot.
So tune in Friday to see how to make this really cool little edge-lit sign thing. Now, feasibly, people could take this design and make anything they wanted from it, right?
Well, really, I wanted to show how you can do like a simple one where you can actually buy these bases and then just cut these out if you want, or do something actually different. You know, notch these things, make them more dynamic. I think that's the way to go.
I think it's the way to go, too. I think it's really cool that you engraved away most of the gold and left some of the gold.
Actually, that's just purple, and I engraved it and filled it with gold paint.
Gold paint? Even
Yeah.
better. That's very, very cool. That's a good look. The purple and the gold are really regal.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
good colors to use.
That's that psychic table.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, that'll be on Friday with Walker and Scott. They'll be showing you how to make that, and really a bunch of great tips and techniques when using acrylic this Friday.
Acrylic
or this
tips.
Thursday, excuse me.
Yeah, yeah. Acrylic tips for days.
Absolutely. So again, don't forget on Tuesdays we have Laser Talk. We'll be doing this every week on Tuesday, and then Thursdays at 4 o'clock with Inside the Laser Lab with Walker and Scott. I guess until next time,
Keep making.
and we'll see you then.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. If you like those videos, please subscribe. We got more videos than me over here.
Gotta use some software. Look at all the shades.